I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And we are looking at episode 7 of Doctor Who Season 9.
Yep, and this is the Zygon Invasion.
Yep.
And we had a spooktacular Halloween. Yeah, let's go with that.
This episode helped me have a good Halloween.
This was a very creepy episode.
Mm-hmm.
Brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drinks. And whatever's on your water bottle.
A scene from my sister's wedding.
And Sam's sister's wedding.
So, I thought this was an excellent story. I almost said amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. With a notable exception.
Yeah, there's one scene that sprung out at me as really stupid.
This is a very tense one, so I'm a little reluctant to give people too many spoilers.
Sure, because well,
at the same time, you're watching a review, so let's get a short review out without spoilers first.
That's a great idea. This is the first episode we've reviewed that's been like that.
Yeah, it's the first one, also the first one where I've actually cared about spoilers, because there might have been some other ones where I'd be like, do we want to spoil them on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so, without spoilers, very nice. So, this one kept my attention the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
From, actually the first opening text. Once upon a time, there were 3 doctors catching you up on the...
Yeah.
The text bits weren't great.
Well, but they didn't have any idea what to do to catch people up on the events of the Day of the Doctor. So
yeah,
they're like,
but
we'll just do this sort of really crummy looking thing instead.
Yeah, but then we cut into the Osgoods.
Yep.
Standing next to each other, and that was good.
It was a good scene, especially because, as we'll talk later, it introduces...
I don't know, who could be engaged by a scene of 2 people sitting next to each other talking to a camera? So, yeah. Oh, as you can see, I am fully costumed.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't just because it was Halloween. I've been considering getting around to wearing this coat for the reviews anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I should have come as Poirot. As Hercule Poirot.
That would have been a good one.
But I didn't. Instead, I just did this.
Yeah.
So, least scary costume, perhaps.
You are disguised as an internet reviewer.
Ugh. So, you want to give us the short version?
Okay, short version is the Doctor... short version is we discover that there is something... That the 2 Osgoods are... Osgood being this Doctor Who fangirl.
Yeah, and also an alien Zygon replicant of the Doctor Who fangirl.
I was getting to that.
Yeah.
Like, she's who got attacked by an alien in the 3 Doctors episode, not the 3 Doctors from 1970.
No.
3, that would be weird. So she got attacked and turned into a Zygon.
Well,
a Zygon turned into her. Other way around. Yeah. She got attacked.
A little scrambled.
Yes. And a Zygon turned into her. And the Doctor brought peace by making the 2 of them the 2 sides negotiate without knowing which side was which.
It was a fun ending.
It was. I have my questions if that's really the best way to negotiate.
Because it occurs to me that maybe if you really want the whole planet, maybe you would try to go for having one side having 100%, even if you don't know which side that is, just to flip a coin to have everything.
Yeah, and also what strikes me is, negotiation is about knowing what you need.
Yeah. And if you assume that both sides need the exact same thing, and it's just a matter of this mass of stuff you want and splitting it in half.
Yeah, and knowing the give and take, though.
Yeah.
Because you can't really do a lot of the give and take if you don't...
Presumably the needs of Zygons and the needs of humans are different.
Yeah. And, if you go back, like, the whole point of a negotiation is to try to get something that works the best for you, so both sides get as close to a win as they can.
Yep.
In this, it's just, you'll end up with what is, judged, I guess, impartially fair.
Yeah.
But
It might be worse for both.
neither one will what the result will then kind of be, neither one got a concession that the other one really wanted. Like,
No, there was epic music playing in that scene, so I know that the Doctor did something good.
you raise a good point.
So therefore, it was a very good way to make people negotiate.
Yep. But aside from that, aside from the way that ending was played out, like I said, that's what you need to know basically.
Yeah.
So there's now the negotiation was the Zygons will live on Earth as humans.
Yeah, 20 million of them.
Yep. So the Zygons move in, and then
Osgood and
Osgood.
Zygon Osgood
Yeah.
decide to be best friends, which I am extremely
And
invested in, by the way.
Yeah, they are kind of the head. They are sort of the symbol of the peace treaty.
Mhm.
They are the one. They are incredibly dedicated to this peace. Which I like that this was the Doctor Who fangirl character, because like she was wearing cosplay all the time. I like that like she was wearing the one on the right is wearing the scarf from the Fourth Doctor. The one on the left is wearing like the jumper from the Seventh Doctor.
The thing you immediately notice, of course, is that neither one of them will say that they are the Zygon or the human.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will say things that make you think, did she say? No, she didn't.
Yep.
Technically, she just said that she was either the human or the Zygon.
Yep.
Neither one will say which one is which.
So then they are given the Osgood box, which will end the war.
If they have to, if there is a war.
Yes. If the peace breaks down, they will activate the Osgood box and end the war.
Mm.
And they are the ones given this power, not UNIT or the Zygon High Command.
Yeah.
Because they are the ones dedicated. And as I said, I like that this is the Doctor Who fangirl, because I like that, it's very in the spirit of Doctor Who. Like, as the show,
Mm-hmm.
this peace and cooperation that the Doctor has always fought for. Always fought for, never tried to murder a caveman. So you get that, and then you then cut to seeing Osgood in some trouble.
Yeah.
We know, by the way, Osgood is dead. One of them died on the presidential spaceship and was killed by Missy.
However, Osgood may be dead, but Osgood is doing okay.
Yeah.
She's very broken up about Osgood's death, though.
Yeah, Osgood was very sad when Osgood died. We see Osgood at Osgood's grave. And then we cut to see Osgood getting attacked by Zygons.
Yep.
And
Kidnapped by Zygons.
They kidnap her, they grab her, they run off. It's a very kind of cliche thing, because like she hides and then the Zygon like walks past, and I literally was like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Here's the jump scare.
And the Zygon, boom, jump scare.
Why did he even walk by her?
Warning: this video contains jump scares.
Ooga booga! Halloween!
Spooktacular!
But so
you ended with the Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare. Chico showing up.
But why do horror movie villains actually walk by the hiding place? They know she's there.
Well, my guess is like they walk by and then like turn around and see it, or like you walk by and like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that like you'd expect they would look under the desk first.
Yeah, but so she's kidnapped. Things are going crazy.
Yep. This is just a good episode. So
Yeah.
what happened? Like it goes in. We see Osgood tried to contact the Doctor. The Doctor is showing up. He ends up with UNIT, working with UNIT. Meanwhile, Clara, helps a kid whose parents appear to have been turned into Zygons.
She doesn't help him. Not really, right? Because like
She thinks
she's like, oh.
She tries to help him find his parents, not realizing his parents have been turned.
Hello, we are his parents. That was really creepy.
Oh yeah.
They don't say hello, we are his parents. That would be stupid.
But yeah, like nothing is wrong.
Yeah.
And then like they grab him and she hears him screaming.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's two creepy scenes. But quickly what it becomes is very odd for Doctor Who. Doctor Who having a split narrative with 2 segments.
Yeah.
Fine. 3 segments? That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's got A plot, B plot, C plot. And the weirdest part is I'm not sure which one is which.
Oh, Scrub style.
I'm no Superman. Oh, now we're getting copyright flagged. But yeah. So we've got a split up, and like every one of these plots is exciting.
The 3 plots are.
Yeah.
By the way, the Zygons keep saying truth or consequences.
Yeah.
Kate Unit.
Kate Stewart.
Yeah, is heading to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, to investigate why that being the last known location of Osgood.
Where were we? Before that.
Well, I just had told them about Kate Winslet. Kate Stewart.
Okay, you just told them about Kate Stewart. Okay, take over. Go for it one more time. I'll shut the hell up.
Okay, so Kate. I just said her name.
Stewart?
Yeah.
You realize she's named after a character from the old series.
I know! A character I like. A character who was in like several seasons.
Yeah.
And I just like. So, yeah. Well, it's because he always went by the double last name. So to me, it's Lethbridge Stewart. So just. No, my excuse is that I just am bad with names. So, Kate is in Truth or Consequences investigating the last known location of Osgood. Which is good.
Yeah.
Well done. And I love the sort of creepy New Mexico town with the survivor police officer. Post-apocalyptic style thing.
Yep.
She sees like this thing that says, no dogs, no British.
Which pays off later.
Yep. The Doctor is in definitely a real places,
Yeah.
It's a terrible...
He goes to Zygon Occupied Village. It doesn't have its own name or anything.
In Locationistan. Because it's not a real country. It's just like...
at least they could like give it a fake village name. Are they saying this village isn't worthy of a name?
Yeah. And also, is Turkmenistan going to be pissed at you? Like, is Turkmenistan going to bomb British? Oh, they said that we had a Zygon occupied village. Come on.
I don't know. Weird. It's weird.
So the Zygon, they're in the generic fictional Middle Eastern country where there is a Zygon occupied village.
Sort of like Eastern European, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a lot of the Middle Eastern places are kind of a mix of both.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like especially the more northerny ones.
Yes.
So they're in generic Middle Eastistan, where there's a Zygon occupied village, and the Zygons stop you from killing them by pretending that they are your loved ones.
Yep. Which is weird and new, and involves some changes to the Zygons.
Yep.
I don't even know how you evolve those capabilities over one generation, but they do.
That's just the direction Zygon evolution was heading.
In exactly one generation.
And then there's...
accelerated evolution. I'm sure that someone will say that in the next episode.
And then there is the other plot with Clara, and she gets her own companion.
Yep. Who's the character we saw in one scene or something in the premiere of this season.
Yep.
And you're like, huh, that's sort of works under Kate Stewart lady.
Yep.
Who says not to be too sci-fi. And you're like, you seem like a person who will come back. And she does.
She does.
You know what? It matters that they're like establish this person in like a couple lines in another episode.
Yeah.
Because it's not like she was out of place.
And you know what I had noticed in that episode also? Like, I'd kind of thought, okay, she's funny, but I'd also had in the back of my mind, well, why didn't they just have Osgood? If Osgood's still got a double.
But there's a reason for that.
Yeah, and it would also have set up us having, you know, Osgood come back here. But it did set up this character, sort of like a B-cast type character. A, like, Ensign Rowe, Lieutenant Barclay style person.
And of course there is a story reason that Osgood was not in that role in that episode.
Yeah, so we now have Clara and her new companion for this story investigating Zygons. Zygon-related disappearances in London.
Yeah.
We have the Doctor
trying to negotiate.
Middle Eastistan.
Trying to talk to the Zygons and trying to hold back the inevitable bombing.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we're just going to bomb them. He's like, nope, I'm the Doctor.
And we have
Kate Stewart. I'm having a lot of trouble with that name.
I'm terrible at this.
In Truth or Consequences.
Yes. Doing the post-apocalyptic New Mexico town bit.
Yeah.
And these are all very well done, very tense.
Yeah.
Very good. Loving all of them.
And all of them are creepy, and some of them have like twists.
Yep. So, that's just sort of our setup review.
Yeah.
Go get it. We will also say, like, we're not going to give you the full grade, but we love this. Watch it.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye, people who don't want spoilers.
Are the kiddos gone? Let's talk for real.
Time to get spooky. And really, this is the sort of episode that is the reason that you have the image of hiding behind your couch from the Doctor Who monster.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought the Zygons were intimidating. By always, I mean ever since that they came back like a year ago.
Yeah. Because
before that, I didn't know them. They look stupid like all Doctor Who monsters.
Yeah.
Except, I guess, like the angels or something. But nevertheless, they just look so angry.
Yep. And they used to look kind of stupid and funny in the past, and now they're just creepy without really ever changing their look. It's just by making the effects a little more organic.
So anyway, I thought it was the middle of the episode. I'm like, if I were writing this episode, Clara would be one of them.
Good, you are Clara. I was thinking Clara's acting a little weird.
Clara was quite right, but more. I'm not going to claim to be that noticing that. I'd just be like, who's the one? Like, let me play the sort of genre awareness game.
Oh yeah.
Who am I not supposed to suspect? Well, Clara, or the Doctor, but that's just a little too far.
Yep. And one thing I absolutely love is shapeshifter stories. And
it seems like they set themselves up for an incredible one next episode, especially one that deals with this cast of Doctor Who.
Yep. I'm a huge shapeshifter story fan. As you know, my favorite book series is Animorphs. Huge fan.
And a lot of it is animal morphing, but I understand, having not read the series, that you can also morph into someone.
Well, you can morph into someone, but it's more the you don't know if the person is a bad guy or not.
Yeah.
Because
it's paranoia, the children's
paranoia, everybody's coming to get me.
Copyright flag.
Oh no, Mr. 3 has escaped from his prison on the Yurko world. Quick, Elfangor, find me 5 teenagers with severe psychological issues.
Anyway, now that we've lost half our audience to them going into their closets and finding their Animorphs books.
and going, oh yeah, these were brilliant. Or alternately, man, Matt's an idiot. I'm not going to listen to his opinions anymore.
This episode, what they've set up is, I love using your cast in a different way.
Yeah.
And I love, next episode, villain Jenna Louise Coleman, that awesome actress who plays Kate. Now I'm forgetting. What have you done?
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Stewart.
I'm just gonna keep coming up with other people named Kate.
So it's great because we get to have them come back as villains next episode, and you know what they do really good in this story?
What?
Despair and hopelessness.
Oh yeah.
Because oh my god, it really feels like we are utterly screwed in a way that most Doctor Who stories, which are trying to do that, don't do at all. Like it's not on the same scale. I feel like, first of all, we know that there have been some like Zygon shenanigans already that people haven't noticed. Are there really only 20 million Zygons anymore, or something else going on? Like how many are there? How screwed are we? Are there entire apartment complexes that are just Zygons now? Yeah. Like, and then of course, like, oh yes, there goes that cast member. Yeah. Wait, like, who's left? It's just the Doctor and Osgood and like a couple soldiers or something.
Yeah.
As far as we know,
apparently the entirety of UNIT in Great Britain is just dead.
Because I mean, a lot of them probably. You're left to assume a lot of them probably got picked off in other ways because the breakdown in the structure.
The entirety of UNIT that was dealing with the Zygon occupied village are dead because they're stupid.
Oh god, okay, yeah, that's a terrible scene. Almost good scene.
Yeah, and then...
but then terrible.
And then...
Kate Stewart?
Yes, thank you.
Oh my god!
There's some sort of mental block on this character's name.
Wait. Matt would never forget that. You're a Zygon!
Now I must destroy you.
But, yeah. So, sorry, what were you saying about Kate Stewart?
She's been attacked and presumably replaced by a Zygon.
Unless she was faking being a Zygon, which seems somehow unlikely that she would learn enough to hold a fake conversation with evil Clara.
She did not have a long conversation with Clara.
So you think that maybe she's a fake Zygon?
Well, it was all she said was like UNIT in North America is neutralized.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe.
So
that would also be great because it would be an instance where Kate Stewart is a badass. Yeah. And also, you know, she didn't look so scared when that Zygon transformed in front of her.
Yep.
I mean, maybe she just shot him. You can shoot a Zygon, right? It's just been a little while.
I think her father would have taught her you just can't shoot aliens. But, hey, if you can shoot a Zygon, you can shoot a Zygon.
Yeah.
That was a running joke, was that bullets never work. At one time it worked on an alien and the Brigadier was just so thrilled.
That's amazing, I can't wait. Oh man. So yeah, it looks like there's a very good chance that only the Doctor and Osgood are the important forces left. And it's weird because we've seen these kinds of situations before in other Doctor Who stories, but it's different because now I have expectations for...
it's usually only the Doctor and his companion.
Yeah.
Not the Doctor and
someone, and the next companion.
Oh man, that would be so great.
She's excellent. She would be excellent. I have total faith in her. Yeah.
Yeah, if she was the next companion,
yeah.
You know, I've got my doubts, but I would love it.
Absolutely. But putting that aside for now, you know, she's not the companion. It's weird. And more than that, what I was going for is, like, Kate Stewart, I had expectations for. And, you know, and her and UNIT helping out. And of course, Clara's gone.
You haven't learned that UNIT is just totally useless.
They've had more integrity lately. They're not like Torchwood, for instance.
Torchwood. Yes.
I don't mean Torchwood of season 2. I haven't seen the television show. For all I know, they're amazingly good at their jobs.
Assuming their jobs is just constantly fucking like rabbits,
then
they are the best.
But
otherwise,
it's weird because like there are these forces I had some faith in, and it's just yanked away. So now the Doctor being on his own feels lonely, and also he's about to be blown to smithereens. Yeah, no, he's not.
And murdered by his companion.
That ending scene.
All right, yeah.
Like that's one of the best things in this season.
Oh, so good.
Oh, like hi doctor. Let me. So I didn't quite catch it, but I assume she had to call him in order to track him somehow. Like she was tracking.
I thought he called her.
Okay.
Either that, or just she's a bad guy and wants to taunt the doctor before he dies.
Yeah.
Because she is a bad guy.
Yeah. Because like, it is such a strong impression seeing her hold this conversation while she sets up a rocket launcher.
Yeah, she's holding a conversation and she's very much giving it, like, at first it's just this very, like, she's not at all giving. She's like, I'm sorry, you're breaking up a bit. I can't hear you.
I was laughing my head off when she said that.
Yeah, and meanwhile she's like, put down the computer, she's taking out the rocket launcher.
Man, I gotta say, by the way, I just thought of this. It's way higher impact than if she pulled out a Zygon science device. That sings plain. There's something so violent and brutal about it.
Because we know how it works.
Yeah.
The Zygon device turns you into a clump of hair, as far as I can tell.
But like, yeah. Or like, just to see her so casually do it.
Yeah.
Is weird. You get the... We know she's Zygon, of course, but it's still eerie to watch Clara do it.
Yeah. And now, let's talk about the terrible scene.
Oh, yeah. It was going pretty well at first.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced by the American accents.
Not really. Doctor?
It wasn't
like
that.
Doctor levels.
Doctor?
Yeah, Perry from the Sixth Doctor's Run, who was constantly accompanying the Doctor.
I don't even... Where is that from?
No,
where in America?
I know. It's a British person attempting to be Texan.
Ugh. But, yeah, so, like, it's weird, not quite accent of any particular kind. Anyway, sorry. So the soldiers are approaching a church in Zygon inhabited village in Locationistan. And they're like, okay, so now here's the thing. Says the commander, I want to be very clear about this. Do not get tricked by the fact that they are shapeshifters, okay?
Yep.
And they're like, then he's like, okay, come out with your hands up, like shapeshifters. And sure enough, the guy in command, sort of, the guy leading the charge and yelling the most.
Looks like his mom.
He comes out, it's like, oh, hello, I am your mother.
He's like, you're not my mother, you're an alien. I'm definitely your mother, I can prove it.
It's like,
no, you're not. Let's say something only my mother would know. I don't know that.
Yeah. Or like, tell me, what was my date of birth? Oh, why are you being suspicious? Well, just tell him, man.
I know.
It's like
what is it? What was my favorite teddy bear? I don't know that.
Yeah, what was the
But I'm not an alien.
But like, also, it's sort of working because it is creepy, and I believe it would be a last-ditch resort of these aliens. The thing is, I don't believe it would be their first choice for deception, because I don't think it would work. And yet it did work.
Yeah, and I don't believe that somebody on a mission like this will not have been like repeatedly prepped for this exact event.
Like hell, when my mother came out, I would shoot more quickly because it would freak me the hell out.
Yeah, I'd be like,
I think the problem would be keeping them from shooting.
Yeah, like if somebody comes out like looking like, my mom, my boyfriend, my friends, maybe you are Zygon. But like I'd be like, oh shit, yeah, no, this is clearly a trick. Bang.
Yeah. If you came out as an innocent bystander who I've never seen before, I would hesitate.
Even if you came out as like the guy down there, like a guy in the back's mom. It's like, help, we've been trapped. We're like, because that's especially the thing. The first one to come out is the commander's mom. Really, really.
But it sort of works a little bit because then they're like, oh, we were brought here as part of like a trick against you or something.
Yeah.
We're being held hostage. And the point is, it's not plausible at all, but it is slightly possible. Which I think is the interesting part of it.
She's like, we're not the Zygons, your commanders are the Zygons.
I guess the point is, if there's a 0.1% chance that this is actually your mother, can you still pull the trigger?
Yeah, and here's the thing.
This does not change the fact that they still have no reason to enter the church into an obvious trap.
Yeah, and here's the thing for me. Like, okay, now actually here's the thing. I was kind of expecting that it would turn out to be his mom.
Just because it's so stupid
the
otherwise.
commanders would really have been like Zygons the whole time. One, I was expecting everyone in that unit building to be a Zygon.
Yeah, and I joked about that, but I didn't really think so.
Yeah, I was expecting the commander to be a Zygon, and she's like, keeps saying, and because of how much she's like, shoot, 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 shoot. Okay, she wants to get rid of the evidence that that would make sense. But the fact that, she's not. Okay, so you guys are...
The reason it was implausible to me is because I don't see any real purpose for it if the commanders were Zygons. Who cares? Like, they could just kill those hostages somewhere else.
Getting more at info... Well, I had this idea in my head that, okay, so what's going on with the Zygon High Command? There's a revolution against the Zygon High Command, which is 2 tiny 8-year-old girls.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Also, I love that they look like they're almost twins, but then they're not.
Yeah.
It's super, strange. It's incongruous.
They look like siblings.
They look like siblings, but they also look a little too close.
But they're dressed and acting the same. So
there was a bit in that beginning section where Capaldi's talking to them, where I wondered whether they really were Zygons at all.
Yeah, I
was babbling all this nonsense. Any second now, they just say "Who are you?"
Well, I was expecting when the Zygon thing shows up, that the Zygons are going to carry off a different pair of children. But that would have been a much more sort of thing that would happen during Tennant or Smith's run.
Yeah, probably.
Because Capaldi is very good at being the Doctor and nothing else as his character. That sort of thing he's not going to mess up. He's going to be surprised that a curio scanner scans for curios, which I guess justifies my favorite Billy Fluff. Mm-hmm. Which is, you see that scanner up there? That is what we call a scanner.
So we talked about that scene where they all, sheep, go into the church to get murdered. And there was no reason that they couldn't just keep asking questions that only their actual family would know. But instead, they are deflected on one question that their parents absolutely should know. And on another, they're told, no, we don't know.
Yep. And... some of the people that were the hostages were kids, and it's I don't believe that this 10-year-old is going to know to just stand there eerily. But I would expect a 10-year-old to be running "Daddy, you saved me."
It's it's not.
They don't act like they're not Zygon.
Yeah, they act like.
I was only expecting them to really be the people because of how much they were acting like they were Zygons.
Anyway, so. I don't believe... I would believe that the Zygons would screw up.
Yeah.
That the Zygons aren't perfect shapeshifters and they make mistakes like that. However, the end of the scene in that case needed to be the soldiers open fire.
Yeah, the soldiers open fire, or alternately, because we are given reason to believe that Zygons can steal memories from your mind.
Yeah.
Alternately, the Zygon mom steals the answer from his mind.
Because he would know it, because the whole reason he's asking it, because he knows it. So, it seems to me, if the Zygons can now steal memories and therefore appear as people they haven't even met before, that we know, really there's not very much in the way of weaknesses for them as shapeshifters.
Yeah,
but I can't think of ways to detect them, really.
Yeah. Well,
and yet, for some reason, they're not taking advantage of that.
The thing becomes what they want is to be openly Zygon.
True.
They don't...
But then why are they... that doesn't mean they should be shit at disguising themselves.
Oh, you mean in this case?
In this particular case.
Oh, in this particular case. Yeah, well, I'm guessing either the scriptwriter didn't mean exactly what they had Osgood say.
Yeah.
Or something, you could only get their memories if you were disguised as them and had them in the room. Once the interrogation is finished, we don't need them.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so they interrogated the mom and then killed her, and then I guess they just never asked what is your son's birthday? What are very basic questions?
What if Osgood that we know turns out to be one of those slime things from season 6? And there's a different Osgood also. It's just like they're combining shapeshifters. Like, don't you think that this needs more twists, and also twists that suck and make the story bad?
Oh, the Flash, right.
Yeah, the Flash.
I was confused.
I love that Osgood is so dedicated to her now deceased Zygon or human sister.
Yeah.
It's a new character thing.
Yeah.
It's a new way to view
And it's
shapeshifter. And it was also set up
Yeah.
a couple years ago, or whatever, the 50th. This is the next step of the character, naturally.
Yeah.
It was weird that it was absent in the finale of last season, but I mean, I guess I can deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a character who has decided, no, this person who is me, you know, is also like my friend, and this doesn't have to be an invasive thing. We can share being Osgood. I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's the reason why she's such a good representation of this deal.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's sad that there's only one Osgood.
Yeah. Though you know one thing I noticed?
Yeah?
She hasn't used her asthma inhaler.
True, but she did use it at the beginning of the episode.
Oh yeah, she did. And the Zygon needed it.
Yes, the Zygon did need the asthma inhaler, right?
Or at least it took it.
Maybe it was doing it for fakesies?
Maybe.
Wait, now I need to go back.
If it
That
is
might
a
be-
perfect shape, if she's a perfect shapeshifter,
then she should have asthma.
then her body would have asthma.
Okay, well, I guess that still tells us nothing.
Yeah,
To be honest, I hope that we never learn.
I do too.
Oh yeah, going into this story, I feel in many ways vindicated because I always wanted there to be the chance of Zygon Osgood companion, because I had decided that my preference for last finale is that was the human Osgood, and that Zygon Osgood would be the Doctor's next companion. Being Osgood, like enjoying being Osgood, it's not fake. She's not secretly evil, but
Yes.
it's also a Zygon.
Have some conclusion which would force her to lose the shapeshifting power too.
Oh no, I think she should be a shapeshifter.
All right, I was just thinking that might help, avoid some questions of, well, why isn't they shapeshifting? Why isn't they, Sam?
Well,
why
because
is
a
not?
lot of the time, like that would help, but it doesn't necessarily get the Doctor out of a situation.
Yeah.
My point is, it would be powerful, but I believe that you can write good stories with it, with a shapeshifter on board. But regardless, that is no longer
good stories with shapeshifters in them. I doubt that.
But
Messed up with the pipe test. How do I pipe?
So yeah, that's not so much on the table now. Her unwillingness to say whether she's a Zygon or not is, important to her as a character.
Yeah.
And if we ever learn, it will be against her will.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we learn at the end.
Yeah, probably.
She'll probably get killed off or something. It's just a shame. She's such a great character. I mean,
What if she gets killed next episode and we never learn, and that's their angle?
Ah.
No, but I don't want that. I just want her to.
And then the third one comes up, and it was the Flash the whole time.
But yeah. So we've gone through this in a disordered way because this is one of the more like component-heavy episodes.
Yeah.
Here's a story beat. There's a story beat. There's a story beat.
I don't think there's a wasted second.
There's not a wasted second. I don't think there's any point in running through the events. We often do. I think it's
watch the episode.
Yeah, watch the episode. Even if we spoiled it and you stayed, clearly you don't care about that. You will enjoy the episode anyway because it's a good story.
Yep. I can't think of anything really bad.
I can't think of much. Let's see. Creepy Clara. I love when Clara, Zygon Clara wipes off the thing.
Oh, the American police officer was great too.
Oh yeah. I'll talk about it in a second. I love when the fake Clara reveals the real Clara in the Zygon pod, and I'm like, ha! I knew it. But I knew that this was the fake Clara. But I love that she still keeps playing Clara.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was on purpose, just to mock.
Well, my guess is that it was to let the troops get into position.
Mm-hmm.
This is your cue to attack when I discover.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. She's like,
and then she'd
oh my
keep
god,
it up so that
look, they're growing another copy of me, and she's like, wait a second, that's not how Zygons work. Oh,
and
I love oh shit moments.
Yeah, and having Clara insisting on blowing up the eggs or whatnot.
That's super creepy.
That would have been a perfectly acceptable other cue if the soldiers opened fire. Wait for them to reload because they assume that they're...
That's amazing. But then she refuses to shoot, and then they spring the trap anyway. I remember one more thing, and we will get back to the police officer.
Yeah.
I think that this is... A lot of times I think Doctor Who characters act stupid. Yeah. This is a legitimately good trap with Clara. Where, and it was hidden. Even for me, thinking, I guess I'm suspicious of Clara right now.
Well, you were suspicious of Clara, but you were suspicious of Clara because you were, you're from the outside of the story. If you were inside the story...
no way. She was like, oh, can I go get something from my place? It's just to lead her to the suspicious thing so that she can pull in more troops.
Yeah.
And I love because I didn't notice what a weird moment it was. Because I wasn't specifically suspecting her then.
Yeah.
I started suspecting her a little later. Why? Why would that happen in an efficient story? Why bother to swing by her place? Oh, it seems like bad storytelling because they just want her
Well, didn't she go to her place and then see the people?
Yes, but it's bad storytelling because there doesn't seem to be a strong, motivated reason for her to do it. But there is.
Yeah.
Because it's part of the trap.
Yeah.
And it's a great trap.
Yep.
Really pleased.
Yeah.
And you got the police officer, immediately suspicious of her too, and then no longer suspicious, and then, oh, wait, I was right.
Yeah.
I was wrong about...
Yeah. The police officer shows up, and it's unclear if she's a Zygon or a person.
Yep.
And then...
It was her introduction that got me thinking. This is what I do. Since I'm suspicious of everyone, I read too many murder mysteries.
Yep.
I will be suspicious of them, and then, oh well, forget about it. And then, whether I'm wrong or right, later, I will have been suspicious of them.
Yeah.
I'll be vindicated, which is kind of cheating, to be honest.
I think you were to me, I was suspicious of her, but only because, the show was presenting it as, is she a Zygon or is she a person?
Of course, yeah.
And then...
But, I was suspicious of her because she said, do you have backup?
Yeah.
And then she asked again, and she was very insistent on that.
Except, the things when she talked about the British people... My guess was, or alternately, all the Zygons were British people. And so she assumes that,
Kate Stewart,
thank you, is a Zygon.
Yeah. But, and that reminds me of another... This episode is becoming for me nothing but a series of fun memories of, oh, isn't that cool? Yep. Here's another thing. The fact that they're really taking the impact of 20 million new alien people on the planet seriously. Because then you've got this migration of a bunch of British people, apparently, to, freaking America.
Yep, and they all show up.
They all show up at once, and they're all weird. But I love it because they're British, so no one is presumably quite sure whether this is somehow a cultural difference or not.
And the thing I like is that sounds like a horror movie.
It sounds like the British invasion.
All of a sudden, a bunch of people all show up at once, and they're all different, but it's not like they're really weird. They're just all British.
Yep.
But it's a bunch of weird, rude British people. Mm-hmm. We find out that the humans attacked a Zygon child.
Yep.
And that shit went crazy. But the police officer does a great job of playing...
playing a
person who is like a survivor.
Because she is.
Yeah.
That's not fake.
Yeah.
Because there was clearly something nasty.
Somebody who saw things she never understood. So
yeah.
She plays...
Just happens to be
I do play
survivor.
Kate Mara for...
Kate Mara?
Stewart.
Yeah.
For... asking how did you survive?
Yeah.
Because that was the big weakness for me. That's when I started to actually suspect her, was when Oh, like, so you didn't ask her how she survived. Are you stupid or what?
Yeah.
Did you ask off screen? Because that's something I want you to ask off screen, so I don't think you're an idiot.
But clearly she didn't, or...
She appears not to, like... I'm going to assume she didn't because she didn't do it on screen.
That plot was always the worst one in a lot of ways, because not much happens in it.
Yeah. She shows up to this town where terrible stuff happened, and...
It's acceptable because it's only a third.
Yeah.
It's a diversion, but it's clear that they don't really have much to do there.
Well, no, it explains how this trouble started.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying all that has already happened.
Yeah.
But I guess exposition is acceptable.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
Can't think of anything.
I'm really pleased. Shall we give scores?
Yeah. You first?
A. Boom. Great.
Might bump it down to A- for those guys.
For the guys walking in the church. I seriously considered that. And it's bad enough that I guess I couldn't quite show it to... I was thinking that this might be a thing you'd show to someone who hasn't seen Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Although it does have continuity.
Yeah.
But then it's also a tense shapeshifter story that anyone who hasn't seen Doctor Who
I still think Blink is a good place to start.
Mm-hmm. But A and A.
Yeah, A and A, and maybe eventually bumping it down to A-. It'll depend on if the second half can give me a good enough memory of the first that I can forget it or not.
Looking forward very much to seeing some familiar actors and actresses as villains and figuring out what the next step is. Bye-bye now.
Have a spectacular Halloween. 3, 2, 1.